So it's Hashbang TV coming from BLN Making It in Mobile 2012. We're joined by Jeff from PixelPin. Got that right. And you're based at the Wire Combinator, right?
Yeah, so we got through to the Wire Accelerator through a competition that took place in April. We started there in June and we're there till the end of March.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So do you want to give us a little flavour about PixelPin, what it does, and then maybe we can explore how what it was like joining Wire?
Yeah, okay, so PixelPin is all about getting rid of passwords. Passwords, I think, are a general pain for everyone, and we feel a visual way is a different way of doing it, but it's more personal. So you use personal pictures to log into sites, and it's more secure, it's more fun to use, and we're creating a product around that.
Okay. Because I've seen it demoed, and you have an image and you pick reference points on the image. Is that right?
That's right. So we call them pass points essentially, but you pick, say, 4 places that you can remember in a particular order.
Yeah.
You click on those and you're through. It works pretty easily. It's easy to use.
Yeah.
And it's a lot better than remembering a password.
So it's similar to the Android pass lock thing, and not obviously they've just got circles and you have to remember the pattern that you create, but this is on an image that you know, it's your personal image, and you have to pick 4 points that you chose at the first.
Yeah, the science behind using your own picture is that you remember a lot better. You have like an emotional response to a picture that's your picture.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to remember, and it sort of goes into your long-term memory a lot quicker than just a random set of letters and numbers which you write down. So, I think we've looked into it. There's quite a lot of science behind the fact that pictures, but everyone responds better to pictures, and nowadays pictures are everywhere on the internet, aren't they? Facebook and Flickr.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're the currency of the.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you got like an academic background, or have you come from a research background, or you always been technology?
I originally was a software engineer once, many years ago, having done a chemistry degree, and so I've been working mainly in defence, in real-time software, mainly on ships.
Okay.
I've also worked in procurement in the MOD as a contractor, and for the last 5 or 6 years before I did this, I was working in information assurance in a big engineering company who sold essentially information assurance to banks and defence around the world, really. So that's my background. My co-founder's also got a background in defence, in producing products around using pictures and sites. So yeah, it could be a heavy background really in terms of.
Yeah. So I mean, is this a technology that's been used by the military, or is this a brand new concept?
No, it's interesting because we've essentially come out of that world and we've created our own business, and we've put all our processes to one side because they're not really applicable for startup.
Yeah.
Right.
We're certainly aware of the standards, and we're writing with the standards like ISO standards and things like that.
Yeah.
So we write that, and PCI standards. We're aware of those, but we're not forcing ourselves down a typical defence company.
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise, we would still be writing the requirements.
Yeah. It doesn't really fit into the Wire thing, does it?
Not exactly Eric Rees.
It's not lean.
No.
But it's a slightly different requirement, isn't it? I mean, it's important. The security of our personal information is really, really important, but it's not like flying a jet. It's kind of not as fail-safe, I suppose. So if I forgot my password or those pass points on the image, I mean, could you extend it to ask questions about the image? Could you, in setup when uploading the images, say, who is this, and offer a bit like the, you get those multi-level security questions, don't you? What was your first school, or what was your? Is that a possible way that it could expand?
We have sort of ways of resetting the picture, obviously, and using questions and answers. And ideally we'd like a picture way of resetting it. But we haven't implemented that yet.
Yeah.
So it works on any website, any mobile app. How is it like a capture? You kind of integrate it into your sign-up process or whatever.
Yeah, essentially it work on any device, on any size, and so the picture, everything is managed depending on the size of the screen. At the moment, it's a mobile web app, mobile web version.
Yeah.
Because that's the quickest way for us to get to all the different platforms.
Right.
We were certainly looking at native in the new year to help performance, but that's where we are.
So I'm familiar with 1Password and things like that, and the way that they work, they tend to have a bookmarklet or something like that you install, and it'll randomly generate a really complicated password, and it will remember the website that you're on, and it will pass it in through things. So that's quite easy, as in the website doesn't need to adopt 1Password's technology, it applies it via the browser. What you're doing, does it require the website owner to adopt your technology, a bit like with captures there kind of embedded in the site, or can it be passed through somehow?
Okay, to start with, we're doing it more like a social login, so that it's quite easy for the website to implement. But
like OAuth, like you do with Facebook and Twitter?
We are using OAuth,
Okay.
So essentially you would have like a Facebook login or a Twitter login, you could have a PixelPin login, and then we would manage that for you. A lot of people have asked us about doing a personal version, and that's certainly in our plans for later on, so that you can essentially manage all your passwords, because one of the problems with most passwords is you don't really know where they are. You've been using them and you don't really know which passwords you've used on which site, so if you have to reset them, you don't really know where they are.
But of course you could do that without needing the website to adopt you at all, because 1Password does it, and it doesn't matter what the interface is at this end. If you're passing in a password which you create some kind of hash from the PixelPin coordinates or something, you can pass that in. It doesn't matter what the actual password is, that it's text, and so you could use that front end to one of those 1Password type tools.
At the moment it's a completely mathematical based
Fantastic.
password. At the moment we're not doing that in the browser, we're doing that at the server end because of how we've encrypted it.
Okay.
That sounds really exciting. It is a problem. Passwords. Passwords are is the biggest unsolved problem of the web. It completely ruins your experience.
And I'm a great believer of privacy, to be honest, because I think that everyone should have the right to either share or not share information. And I feel a lot of organisations are trying to take people's information without them really knowing it, or people are excluded. So I know that 10% of the population is dyslexic. I know they have great problems with passwords and get somebody else to log in for them. Or if you're an older person in in a care home, that might be a vital link for you to connecting to people. But it's quite scary, this whole password business. So I think
so also PixelPin could be that non-social login thing, so you're not giving something to Twitter, you're not giving something to Facebook. Websites could adopt that as the third option of easily logging in. Makes a lot of sense. Fantastic.
So what stage is the company at? You've gone through the wire selection process.
Well, the company originally started about 3 years ago.
Okay.
So Brian, my co-founder, spent about 2 years trying to work on producing prototypes out of his own money.
Right.
And we had some quite good prototypes going on, but it obviously we needed a bigger push. So I joined at the beginning of 2011. Once we agreed, we spent about 3 months sort of deciding whether we wanted to work together. we decided to go for mobile, because that's obviously where keyboards is pretty pants on a mobile, and so putting in passwords is even worse. And then we won a grant from the Technology Strategy Board for about 100k, and that essentially was our kickstart. So we said, okay, we're going to do it now. So we've been match funding last year, and the Wire was the sort of meant we had the confidence to start employing people. So we've now got 5 of us, and so we started pushing in a big way now.
Cool. So is the product out in the market? Are people using it?
No, the product at the moment, we've got an end-to-end sort of beta version working, which we're starting to do trials. So we're doing trials with a big e-commerce company and some universities and things like that. Okay. So because it's the first thing you're going to meet on your website, people need to have that body of evidence that users like it. And blah blah blah. So we're collecting that information at the moment.
I love that direct to consumer idea. I love the fact that you could create an application, that sits on your smartphone, that every time you need an app, it loads, and on desktop as well. I like that, removing the requirement for a website to adopt your technology. You don't need it, because you can pass passwords in through the browser or through an app environment. That's just massively exciting. It's a great idea. It's a really great idea.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I love it. It's great.
We'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, big time.
Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff.
Really appreciate it. Thanks.
Cheers. All the best.
Good stuff.